Welcome back, everyone, to the Clay Soldier Battle Tournament 2018 Triple Elimination Tango of Terror and Triumph. And I don't know, I'm rambling. So, today we have 4 matches to get through. And we're going to start the matches off with the Aquamarine Firing Squad facing off against Rolling Thunder. And they will do battle in the Fractured Mine. Alright, let me go get the teams set up and we will unleash them upon each other. And here we are at the Fractured Mine once again. Both teams are set up. Over on the right we have Aquamarine Firing Squad, equipped with gravel, sticks, lily pad pants, and rabbit hide armor. They also have a specialist team of mushroom eaters. Over on Rolling Thunder's side, they have a specialist team of emerald block users, leather armor, shields, sticks, and feathers. Fall damage is likely to be not a factor at all in this fight. So, let's see which team wins in 3, 2, 1. And here comes Rolling Thunder, crossing the bridge first. Aquamarine Firing Squad is doing its best to keep its distance as Rolling Thunder moves in. However, they have only managed to corner themselves. And as we can see, the teams aren't sticking in the corner anymore. They are actually coming out of the corner to keep on doing battle. Meanwhile, in the pit, people are falling into lava. It's looking as though Rolling Thunder is going to be taking this victory thanks mainly to their shields being able to counter the range attacks of the Aquamarine Firing Squad so well. And it seems that there are no more Aquamarine Firing Squad members remaining to do battle. Another quick match. This time, the pit did not come into much of a play this battle. Good job. Let's get them cleaned up and move to the next fight. And so, Rolling Thunder was the victor. Let's send this guy down. And move Rolling Thunder up on the board. And what match was that? That was match number... You go right here. Okay. So, up next, we have Emerald Blitz facing off against Blueberrians. Now, these two are very evenly matched teams. And we'll go over how evenly they are matched once we get over in the Sinking Sands. Awesome. I've been looking forward to this. Alright, let's gather up the soldiers, get on over there, and check out the improvements we made to the Sinking Sands Arena. And welcome everyone to the new Sinking Sands Arena. So we have a unique feature in the back there, which is a tube that has a fan at the top. A tube which we can see into thanks to glass. Now, why is there a tube in the back? That's because at the bottom of these sinking sand holes, we have a network of wind tunnels, which will blow the clay soldiers to that central tube where they will be lifted back up and spit back out into the arena to continue doing battle, rather than sitting down out of sight until either team suffocates. So, as I I was saying on Spawn Island, these are very similarly equipped teams. On the right here, we have Emerald Blitz. They have sticks, rabbit hide, feathers, and emeralds. And I believe that was it. Oh, yes, Blaze Powder Specialists. You could see that some of them had fire. Anyway, on the left side, the Bluebarians also have Blaze Powder Specialists, sticks, rabbit hide, and feathers. The only real difference between the two teams is that Bluebarians have a shield, whereas Emerald Blitz has an armor-piercing weapon. So, let's see who will take the victory in 3, 2, 1. And that one Bluebarian soldier got devastated by multiple lightning blasts. That was rather intense. Both teams have unloaded their blaze powder. Lots of bricked soldiers lay scattered about the arena, and we can see some soldiers are sinking into the sinking sands, both on the left here and over there in the back. In fact, it looks as though the fighting is now continuing underground, aside from these couple soldiers sitting by a cactus dying. We will see the other soldiers coming back up in just a moment, and that will determine, from the looks of it, whether or not we have any more Emerald Blitz soldiers remaining, or if they have all been defeated. So far, nothing but bodies are being spat out. We can hear some of the soldiers still either in combat or simply drowning in the quicksand. Yes, the quicksand, while not lethal on its own, is able to do enough damage to completely finish off a soldier if they are already damaged in the first place. And from the looks of it, we have no more Emerald Blitz soldiers remaining. It appears that they have all lost their lives either in the quicksand, and that is my cell phone, I forgot to mute it, either in the quicksand or at the hands of the Bluebarians. Another rather quick and decisive battle, and if the rest of the battles aren't going to go like this, then we can actually fit a lot more fights in a single video. So that's a positive. A plus positive. Anyway, I got a mess to clean up. Bluebarians move ahead in the tournament, and Emerald Blitz is the latest loser. Now, on to the more interesting matches. See you in a moment. And so, after another good battle, we've had Emerald Blitz, this time, losing to the Bluebarians. Emerald Blitz, get your representative down below, and let's put you on the loser board where you belong. You will face Aquamarine Firing Squad to not be a complete loser right away. And Bluebarians will get to face against Rolling Thunder. Now, the next match we have going for us, we are seeing a returning team facing against a team who has yet to fight. The Lapis Valkyries will be going against Sapphire. And Sapphire has, through random selection, used their one Nether Star on a random upgrade, which we will cover at the battle arena. And the battle arena in question is going to be Poseidon's Palace. A place where they can actually use their lily pad pants. How interesting. Anyway, let's get them over there and equipped. And here we are in Poseidon's Palace. Let's go over the Lapis Valkyries first. They, of course, have a specialist unit of Valkyries who ride winged horses, Pegasi, as they're often called. And they have gravel, leather, and blaze rods. And they have some cooked pork chops for emergency healing capabilities, which is not too shabby of a food item, I must say. And on the left side, we have Sapphire, and you may notice that there is a rather small number of them. That's because they have a secondary specialist unit. On top of their mushroom users, they also have a team of medics using glistering watermelon. Yep, they have 24% of their units now not able to do any physical combat damage, so long as they have melons to use, which will hopefully be just fine for them. After all, they do have a specialist unit of tanks with their own mushrooms, which are able to restore half of their lives. So, as long as they're able to actually hit the Valkyrie units, they will be able to maybe outlast them, even though the Valkyrie units all have their own self-healing capabilities. And, of course, they have their lily pad pants and their rabbit feet for jumping with their rabbit hide armor. This might actually be a closer fight than expected. I mean, Sapphire does not have any range capability whatsoever, but they have shields and very decent jumps. So this is going to be a very interesting matchup. I must say, I expect it to last a decent amount of time as well, considering the amount of healing that is capable of going on. Let's see if that holds true in 3, 2, 1. And a barrage of gravel just gets thrown into the water, and an interesting twist, it seems that only the scout units are in combat with the enemy teams. And it does look like Sapphire is proving that they are able to actually take a Valkyrie unit with their jumping capabilities. So it may have been an advantage for the Lapis Valkyries. Might not end up having much of a benefit for them at all in the long run. We now have an interesting dynamic going on with the combat. We have anyone who is on land currently on fire, and anyone in the water, well, they don't have the jumps. The only real mobile units in the water would be anyone who's managed to put on a pair of lily pad pants, and it looks as though the Lapis Valkyries are actually stealing the pants from the fallen Sapphire units. In fact, it seems as though there's only a couple Sapphire units remaining, and they appear to be heavily outnumbered. Not to mention outmaneuvered with the Valkyrie units, still very in play. I have seen combats flip before where opposing teams manage to steal the Pegasi from their enemy teams. And of course, any unit that lands in the water with their Pegasi, they tend to automatically dismount, which causes a bit of a kerfuffle over the Pegasi units. Ooh, and it actually looks like we did have a Sapphire unit steal a Lapis Valkyrie Pegasi. As predicted, this fight is lasting a fair bit longer than the previous fights so far since we started the new tournament proper rules. trying to see whether or not we have any significant amount of Sapphire units remaining in the water on the opposite side, and I do see a couple pop up every now and then. And you may even hear some combat going out on over my mic, as it seems my cats have decided to engage in combat themselves right now. Bizarre creatures. Considering how long this match seems to be going on, I think we might have found our favorites for the long run in the tournaments. The only potential downsides I see them facing are very likely going to be teams with blaze powder. I was almost ready to declare the fight over there for a moment, but it turns out there is at least one more Sapphire unit in the pool. No, wait. Make that 2, I believe. The fight has come down to just fisticuffs at this point, and it is really dragging on as a result of the very much lowered amount of damage. I can't tell if I'm occasionally seeing a Sapphire unit trying to get that Pegasi away from the Lapis Valkyries. I believe I may have to go in there for a closer look quick. No, it does seem as though the Lapis Valkyries have all taken victory. I suppose it's just a trick of the water that I was seeing one of the units look a lot bluer than they actually are. Well, congratulations, Lapis Valkyries. Your aerial combat, while not perfect for a watery arena, has helped you maintain victory over a unit with no range. That puts the Sapphire team at 1-1 for their wins and losses. Well, let me get these guys cleaned up and we will move on to the last match of this video. And so, in the longest fight of the tournament proper thus far, we had an as of yet undefeated team be defeated after they spent their only upgrade point on a new specialist unit. It unfortunately was not enough, or at the very least they did not have the numbers to overcome an aerial squadron of ranged fighters. And so we must knock this team down a peg and move them over to the loser board. Now in this situation, the losing team goes over here, so they do not fight the team that they originally fought against until a later date in the tournament. Meanwhile, the Lapis Valkyries move up ahead, where they will be facing the Flaming Coal team in their next match. Up next, we have the Beetroot Burners facing against the Tubertastic team. That's what they were called. I remember now. I never forget. Never at all. And they will be doing battle in the Tranquil Bog. Oh, and an important thing to note, the Beetroot Burners have an upgrade point to spend, but they will not be spending it. They will be going in as is against Tubertastic. So let's gather them all up and watch what happens in the bog. I don't know, I'm running out of catchy lines to say. Welcome back to the Tranquil Bog, everyone. Jack-o'-lanterns have been added to make the arena more diverse looking and give you some light at night. That way we can actually see things a lot easier from now on. Over here on the right side, we have the Beetroot Burners with their full 48 unit team. They have rabbit hide, rabbit feet, shields, bone clubs, and nether brick core. And I believe that was it. Yep, can't say I'm forgetting anything. Oh yes, feathers. That's right. I always manage to forget one thing. It's a shame. Anyway, over here on the left side, we have Tubertastic. Their first fight in the tournament proper. They have gravel for ranged weaponry, sticks for melee weaponry, proper leather armor, and string cores, which are not going to be very helpful due to the fact that there are no explosions in this fight. And they have cooked fish to heal themselves when they're injured. Will that be enough to overcome the Beetroot Burners' massive damage output? Maybe, maybe not. We'll find out in 3, 2, 1. And the two scout units race across the arena and get into the midst of massive combat on their own. And the fight is breaking out into absolute chaos. There's so much going on that I can't really examine a single area, though it does sound like there is quite a lot of fish being eaten already. Yes, the Beetroot Burners are capable of doing a pretty hefty number on enemy units. And with their shields, the gravel weaponry of the Tubertastic team may not even come into play. Although we do have some Beetroot Burner losses, it seems. I'm predicting that Tubertastic is going to go through their supply of healing fish, and as soon as that runs out, they're going to start taking heavy losses. It's just a question of whether they can take out enough Beetroot Burner units before that point to keep the fight at an even pace. And unfortunately for them, it seems that they just could not do it. I'm counting maybe at least a dozen Beetroot Burners remaining. Still, they managed to do quite an impressive amount of damage to their opponents, despite having a much weaker weapon and no shields for defense. But regardless, congratulations, Beetroot Burner, on your second win. You are the first team to truly be able to claim to be undefeated in the tournament thus far, having faced 2 matches already. And with that, I'm going to get these guys cleaned up and take care of the in-between round stuff off camera. We will come back next time doing which matches would be next on this list. I believe it's going to be the losers facing off against each other for the first time. Yep, that is actually what I have on this list. We have matches 11 and 12 as being between Jade Shrapnel and whoever they were facing, and Sapphire and the team that they were facing. I believe it was Melton Melons. I can't remember anymore. I forget things the moment I stop looking at them. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying the tournament and the change of pace in the combat. I will see you next time. Take care and goodbye.